Hi guys again. It's Prophetess Chanel. I'm back again, and I'm here to bring a word that the Lord has been speaking to me about. Something that's going to happen is going to break out. Now, I want to say this: the Lord has been doing some great things in the earth, and it's marvelous in our sight. We may not always understand God's ways, but I trust that in the end, it will all speak because God is so wise, and His ways are above our ways, and His thoughts above our thoughts. Who can search the mysteries of God? Who can find out His ways? Who can go into the depths? Like Job said, the Lord came and confronted Job and said, listen, were you there when I made this? Were you there when I made the heavens? Who are you to come against what I'm doing? The Lord is saying this. He's saying this today, that we must trust in what He's doing. We must trust in His hand. So if you clicked on this video, I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm going to be talking about. Now the Lord began to speak to me about some things that are going to happen in the earth. And as we can see, what the Lord is really truly doing, though it may affect different countries differently, we see that everything that the Lord is doing is global in this year, this era. He's doing it worldwide. It's never just, specific to one region, though the way He may do it and the way it may affect different regions is different, but it's truly pandemic and globally what He's doing. So I want to say this. I want to say, first of all, never fear what the Lord is showing. If He reveals a word through His prophet or His chosen vessel, whoever it might be, title or no title, it's never for us to fear. The word always comes before destruction. He wants His people to know what is happening so that we will not be afraid. That's the point of the word, so we would not be afraid. So I want to say this. The Lord began to speak to me about the famine that was coming. And He began to show me something also happening with the water. And the Lord revealed unto me what is going to happen with the water. So I want to begin to release His word. And what He took me to was Exodus chapter 15. We're going to start at verse 22. And this is talking about the bitter waters of Myra. And this is when the children of Israel came out into the wilderness and there was no water to drink. So I'm just going to read it. And that's Exodus 15, chapter 22. And it says this: So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Mara, they could not drink the waters of Mara, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Mara. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? What shall we drink? So the Lord began to speak to me and showed me that there is going to be an occurrence. I believe it's going to be some kind of natural occurrence or something that happens, that takes place, that is going to cause the waters, our drinking waters, to become indigestible. It's not going to be safe for us to drink. They're going to become bitter. And so the Lord began to speak to me about that. And I see where it's going to affect. I want to say this. I see where it's going to affect. I don't believe it's going to affect everyone the same, but I see it happening in a way where it's going to be a global thing. And it's definitely going to be something that is going to happen within the United States of America. But I see something happening globally. And He began to show me that. Watch this. History repeats itself. History is doing is literally repeating itself in a different form. The Lord began to show me, even with the protests that came, He began to show me the Boston Massacre, and it's happening in a different form. It's coming in a different way, but it's still the same thing. History is repeating itself. So what He began to show me is something that happened even in Michigan with the water. Is coming, and it's going to be in that same way. It's going to affect, but it's going to have global repercussions that is going to happen. So watch this. He says this, that history repeats itself, and we're going to see a lot of these things happen worldwide. But what the Lord has been speaking to me about, even with the waters becoming bitter, He doesn't want us to be fearful. He doesn't want us to be fearful, because what the Lord wants to do, He wants to do a supernatural work. So if we come and we see the verse 24 says this: And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There He made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there He proved them. He proved them. And he said, if thou would diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and would do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all of his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. So I truly believe, and I have bear witness in my spirit, that the Lord is going to do a supernatural thing, a supernatural healing, even within this plague that is going to come upon our waters. And this is what I see, because anytime the Lord gives me something like this that is going to happen, I always try to wait for God's instructions, because I never want to just put a word or say a word and not having instructions with it, because instructions are important. So this is what the Lord began to show me. He says, though the drinking water will be polluted, and it would be that you're not going to be able to drink it. But I believe, and I truly believe the Lord is speaking, that the bottled water, purified, it needs to be purified water, is going to be okay to drink. That which has been purified through reverse osmosis is going to be okay to drink. Now I'm going to say this again. I cannot say exactly how God is going to do it. We prophesy in part, but I want to say the Lord is giving instructions to not be fearful to drink the bottled purified water. And I believe that the Lord is going to do a marvelous work. I believe that he is going to bring supernatural healing. I believe that we are going to see where the scientists could not understand or come up with a remedy. I believe the Lord is going to do it. I truly believe the Lord is going to give a supernatural healing that will come, and the scientists and those who come and try to figure out, they're not going to understand how this happened. First of all, they're not going to understand how this happened, and they're not going to understand how the Lord is going to reverse and heal it. So people of God, once again, do not be fearful. Do not be fearful with anything the Lord begins to speak or to say. And once again, we don't know exactly how it's going to happen or transpire, but he wants to give us warning before destruction. So do not be afraid to drink your water. Don't be afraid to drink your water. When the Lord speaks something, he'll let you know when it's time. Like the water is going to be bitter. You're going to know. I'm going to just leave it like that. You're going to know. So don't be fearful to drink your water. Don't be fearful to take a bath. Don't be fearful to do any of those things, because I am not fearful. The Lord speaks very specifically, and he gives unctionings in your spirit, but fear is never of him. And another thing I want to say, even though I'm telling you this, it's not a place for you to go and hoard. He doesn't want us to hoard, because hoarding is a sign of anxiety, and anxiety comes from fear. So he does not want us to hoard the water. He doesn't want us to do that. But we do want to take precaution, and we want to know that this is something that the Lord is going to do. He's going to cause the waters to become bitter. But this is what the Lord gave me before, even in the video he gave me with the famine. He says the words of the Bible are going to pop out to us. They're going to stand out in such a way. And he's going to be our bread and water. He's going to be our bread and water. He is going to be the bread that we eat. He is going to be, just as the children of Israel experienced, he's going to be that bread. He's going to be our sustainer. He's going to be our water. He's going to be the one to give us drink. He's going to refresh us. We're not going to need to be afraid. We're not going to need to be in anguish about anything, because the Lord, he said he'll never leave us nor forsake us. So people of God, I just wanted to share that. Again, don't be afraid. Don't be in panic. Just position. Don't be a hoarder. Don't be in fear. Don't do any of those things, but just position. God is going to do something supernatural in the earth. He is doing a great work. He is doing it. He is doing it. So people of God, stay prayed up, stay in hope, stay in faith. We're in this thing together. God is going to bring us through. And on the other side, we are going to see signs, wonders, and miracles break forth in the earth. And not only signs, wonders, and miracles, but we are going to see the great harvest come. Many souls are going to be saved through these trials and through these tribulations. We are going to see many people come to Christ. And that's what God is after. He is after the souls. So people of God, have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. And God bless you.